What's up guys, WOO here, back again with another Division 2 video. Guys, welcome back. This build, and today's build, this is a never reload your LMG ever again. And that's what I like about this build. It offers an inflation of damage due to your set skills. It means that you can use your cover to cover move to make sure you never reload again. Yeah, you can kind of see where I'm going with this build now. This is a very different DPS build, and I recommend you put in this through its paces to see if you enjoy this in heroic content. Does it work in legendary missions? That's the question. That is the be all end all. I haven't tested it yet. I will be, and I'll let you know in the comment section as soon as I do. But of course guys, if you enjoy this build, you enjoy this video, thumbs doodle, it helps, it really does. And if you're new to the channel, drop the WOO on the sub button, ding the bell to be notified when I upload my shizzle. Guys, let's move this. Here's the build, guys. This is my DPS, LMG, Carnage, cover to cover, no reload build. Now, there are very many different ways how to roll with this. I've tested it so many times, and this is what I've kind of settled with. This is what I enjoy using the most, and gives me the most damage, I find. But again, you tweak and twist it to whatever suits your desires, and let me know in the comment section what you would do differently, and that's what I like to hear from you guys. Keep it constructive, of course, but yeah, let me know in the comment section. So with this, guys, this is the Demolitionist specialization. Now, I've opted for that for a couple of reasons. The first reason is, again, that 5% damage to targets out of cover. That's a good option. That's a good option to have on the build. I like that. Then, not to mention, you have that little grenade. And the grenade, which is this bad boy, the fragmentation grenade. And what does it do for me? What does it do for the build? Well, it offers bleed. Bleed. And that's exactly what I want on this build. And you can see, once I go through the pieces, why I'm utilising this setup. I like the fragmentation grenade. It helps me. It helps elevate the damage from my primary weapon, and that's why I've opted for this. By all means, you could switch to the gunner specialization. You don't have the frag grenade, but you do have an extra 50 bullets or 50 rounds in your chosen LMG if it's belt fed, so that's something to bear in mind. But this is what I've opted for. But at the same time, I find I don't really need... It's not an essential to have the extra 50 in the mag with this build, because I am consistently going from cover to cover, ultimately meaning that I don't need to reload. So it is what it is. I mean, guys, it is entirely up to you. I like that little bit of elevation of damage through the grenades, and it's a good status effect. It's good crowd control. Let's go through the skills. So this is a DPS build. So the skills wise, I'll start with those guys, because they're not going to do a lot of work. But what they are going to do is offer me that crowd control and elevate the damage. I'm rolling with a Hive Stinger, and you can see, guys, it's not giving me a lot back, because it's a DPS build, there's no skill tiers. So it's 305 damage, which it is okay. But what it will do is give me an extra 25% damage on my Carnage, which is awesome. And that's why I've opted for this. You can see this is a nice way to roll. Damage, Stinger charges, and health. My primary skill is the Fixer Drone. Keeps me alive. Simple as that. Gives me that little bit of sustenance, that little bit of heal that, again, keeps you in the game. And it's nice to have that little tick of armor repair. So with this guy's duration, armor repair, and health. Now that's the skills out of the way. You don't need to see them because, they don't really, really push the build any more than what it can be. Unless, again, you get a bit of bleed. But yeah, so the mask. You can see, guys, I'm rolling with a Province Defense mask. And why? I want to get as many headshots as possible, and given that you're in cover, you can spam as many headshots as you can with this. And you know, I do have potato aim, but with that being said, in cover, I ain't too shabby with the LMG. And again, I know quite a few guys can do exactly the same with this. So, headshot damage is the primary driver on this, and because I'm using One Piece Providence. And that is headshot damage, critical hit damage, and critical damage mod as well. I want to build as much crit as I can on this, with a bit of survivability also. Now the holster is the Grupo Sombra SA. And you're thinking, I need that, of course I do, because I'm rolling with critical hit damage, and I need that to elevate the damage. But what I do also need is a two-piece. Why? I want to get or enhance my explosive damage, and Demolitionist does that. And that's something I neglected to say until I showed you this piece. It gives you 10% explosive damage, and also with Grupo Sombra, that's 15%. That's 25% explosive damage, as well as that damage I'm going to get through the bleed. So that's, again, a nice way to roll. You can spam some more nades with this and cause some damage. That's why I've opted to roll with two-piece Grupo. Again, switch it as you like. It's entirely up to you, but that's what I've opted for on this. See, guys, this is God Sausage Roll. Now, the gloves, again, God Roll. Perfect for me. I want one-piece Seska because I want that 10% crit chance. And then for me, it's weapon damage, crit chance, and crit damage all the way. I want to get as much Carnage from my Carnage as possible. No pun intended. And again, the crits will really help me elevate some nice damage. I have been getting 800k headshots with this. And yeah, it's quite powerful. Once the stars are aligned, it is quite powerful on the build. Now the backpack is the Grupo Sombra SA backpack. And again, we know I'm rolling with the two-piece, so that's 15% crit damage and 15% explosive damage. And again, we know what that does. It helps my crit damage and it also helps my explosive damage through the grenade. So the attributes are weapon damage, status effects, crit hit damage, and again, crit hit damage. And just to clarify, status effects, they will just prolong the bleed from my grenade, from my Hive Stinger. So that's why I've opted for that, and that's why I've rolled off, I think it was something like health or something on there, so I've put crit damage on there. That's what I want. I want to get as much crit damage possible, but leave status effects as is, because that will help. By all means, what you could do, you could change that for crit chance. It's entirely up to you. But that's, again, how it rolled for me, so that's why I utilised on the backpack. The Talon's Wicked. Applying a status effect increases total weapon damage by 18% for 20 seconds, which is great. And again, with this, again, I'll be applying quite a few status effects with this build, given, again, the primary weapon is X amount of kills, I'm going to get some bleed. And it's also, look at the skills for the Hive Stinger, which is great, and then you have your Frag Grenade, which is also quite nice. So there's three means, three ways, ultimately off the bat, using your skills and your grenade, you can deliver a status effect. And that's not to mention, you shoot those red canisters and you're going to get some fire, which is ultimately going to create another 18% weapon damage. Bear it in mind, it's helpful, I find, using Wicked. The chest piece, guys, is, again, I need one-piece LMG. Of course I do. It's one-piece Petrov. Weapon damage, crit chance, crit damage, and a 12% crit damage mod, which is beautiful. It's not the most perfectly aligned piece, but it does the job for me. So you can see this can be a little bit better. It's all about the talent Obliterate. Critical hits increase total weapon damage by 1% for 5 seconds, and it stacks up to 25 times. And again, we can just keep stacking this up, given that you are going from cover to cover, so there's no reload. So you're going to get that nice damage if you're consistently moving around the map and popping your lovely Carnage. Well, we'll go for that very shortly. The knee pads, these are Ninja Bike Messenger knee pads. These are nice. And again, it's not perfectly rolled, but it's not far off. And again, I had to re-roll these about half a dozen times to the point I gave up. So 15% weapon damage, max crit chance, and 10.7% critical hit damage. Parkour. Performing a cover to cover or vaulting reloads your drawn weapon and grants 25% bonus armor for 5 seconds. So think about this, guys. You're running with an LMG, which is the perfect way to roll with this. Guys, it is. Because, you know, standard reload on a belt-fed LMG is forever. It is days and days. That's at 4 or 5 seconds. Frustrating, right? So with this, you don't need that. And that's why I like the Ninja Bike Messenger knee pads. It's quite cool on certain builds, and this build, it just elevates it because you can just go from cover to cover, spam A to A, and you'll get an instant reload. And that's perfect. And not to mention an extra 25% bonus armor. And doing the math on 726k armor, it's about 966k armor for 5 seconds. That gives you a little bit chance to stay in the fight longer and gives you a little bit more survivability. So that's, again, a good way to roll on this. Is it the perfect way to roll? You let me know in the comment section, but I like this. It works for me. It works a dream. Now the weapons, we've gone for the skills and the gear. Let's take a look at the weapons. My primary is, of course, the Carnage. Look at this. Look at this bad boy. Now again, I have not re-rolled this. I have not touched this one bit. Just not touched it at all. I might do. I may do. But I've left it as is. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Do I need to change this God roll as it dropped? Carnage LMG. Now, it's LMG damage to targets out of cover, which is great, and headshot damage. And again, it's nice to have. Again, if you haven't got potato aim, you should be cool. And extra 10% headshot damage is beautiful. But do we need some crit chance? Do we need some more crit damage? You let me know what you think in the comment section. But it's all about the talent Perfect Sadist. Deal 25% weapon damage to bleeding enemies. After 3 kills, applies bleed to the next enemy you hit. And again, it's quite easy to get kills with this in heroic content because you're hitting very, very hard. Basically, you're looking at about 350 crits from the bat off. That's it. And it can be elevated up to 800k headshots quite easily with this. It really can. It's pretty tasty. So then you got your 3 kills, you apply the bleed, and again, and that's more damage. And given there's no real skill tiers, there's nothing happening. But you know the Hive Stinger is nice, and then you have the grenades and also Perfect Sadist. It's a good way to roll, guys, it really is. Now mods, simply weapon handling. I've opted for crit damage, crit chance, and critical hit damage. Now my secondary, I don't use it, guys. So if anyone says change it for this, it doesn't matter because I'm just rolling with the Carnage. But this is my secondary as is. Mechanical Animal, there you go. But again, I don't use it, folks, so don't worry about it. Same as a sidearm, don't worry about it, it is irrelevant. If you do roll in a mission where, again, you matchmake and you're in a point where you've got all the directives on, you've got no ammo, just switch it to something that has ammo. Switch it to a pistol, jobs are good, and there you go. But don't worry about it, I don't use my secondary or my sidearm. It's all about the Carnage on this. Now let's take a look at the stats. So, 89,886 base damage. We know it's RPM's okay. It's decent. We know how powerful the Carnage is. MG5, we know how it rolls, guys. It's a very decent LMG to use. Now, crit chance is 48.5%. I've maxed crit chance on the watch. I can't go any higher. But again, a few tweaks here and there. You can elevate that to 54% quite easily. Then you have crit damage 180%, which is decent again. Headshot damage 100%, again, because the baked-in multiplier from the LMGs. It's nice to have. It's a nice array of numbers to look at. Now, my all weapons damage bonus is 99%, which is beautiful. Again, you know I'd like 100, but it is what it is. Rifle damage bonus 15, assault rifle damage 15, LMG damage bonus 40%. Okay, my explosive damage there is 25%, and that's because, guys, yes, that's because I'm rolling with Demolitionist. If you roll with Technician or Sharpshooter or anything else, you lose that 10%. However, I like that with my nades. I think it's nice to have. And it's a really, really good trait to have. And again, it just, one, you have that explosive damage, and then you have that big boom from the bleed, which is good. But again, that's how I roll. By all means, tweak it to your playstyle. So you got there's no armor on kill, there's no armor regen, very little health regen, but that's what it is, guys. No hazard protection, so don't worry about that. That's fine. You are consistently running around the map with this. A is your best friend because you're going from cover to cover on this build. So guys, this is the build. Been using this PvE for about a week now. A lot of fun. I'm going to test this evening in Legendary content and see how far I can take it. But guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. This is an heroic build, for sure. You'll have so much fun rolling with this heroic content. You're going to hit hard. You're going to hit really, really hard. And I'll just quickly demonstrate how powerful this is. Let's just change this to Elite. Or very hard, so to speak. You see what Obliterate does? And again, I can't demonstrate really with this because I'm in the range and you can't do a cover-to-cover move, which is a bit annoying. For Obliterate, it's a bit like Striker in all fairness. You're going to get extra damage over time when shooting. You can just keep stacking that up. You've got Wicked as well, which is nice. Let me just pop that. You see now, guys, where I was at, where I'm at now, and quickly these drop. It puts in a shift. It puts in a serious shift. So I like this. I think it works for me. And again, I can't demonstrate the cover to cover, but you've seen the gameplay, you've seen the footage, you know how it rolls. Like the build. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.